2.5, 3 years trying to do something in the Democratic Party to improve things, and I learned, and I was on the state executive committee. That's the committee that actually supposedly runs the party in the state. Well, guess what? They don't. Everything comes top down. It's like most big organizations. It's all top down. The Republicans and Democrats are basically top down organizations, and if you buck the trend, they find a way to screw with you. I want to talk about what's going on in Chapel Hill just a little bit, then I'm going to move on to another subject. First, there's enough information in the public domain for the Chapel Hill Town Council to have already concluded that the CERT operation at the Yates building was completely and utterly unnecessary. There's no question about it. And to be even more specific, Josh Davis, who was with Reese News, had his credentials with him. He was waving them. He showed them to the officer that made him get down on the ground and put handcuffs on him and pointed weapons at him. That officer knew that Josh Davis was with the press. I interviewed Caitlin from the News and Observer. She told me the same thing. She had her ID with her. She showed it. Didn't make any difference.
They have no shame.
Why is that? Why is it that in every occupation raid that has happened, the police have done exactly the same thing with exactly the same tactics? Here's why. It's all driven from the top down. All right? It's DHS. It's the Department of Homeland Security. It's the federal government.
Right.
It's the state government. It's the city government. They're all in the pockets of the people at the top. Now, the police in Chapel Hill, I believe, are victims. They're victims of brainwashing. They're victims of fear. They are fearful because they've been fed a complete line of crap. All right? Complete line of crap. And this has to do with 9/11, which didn't happen the way they tell us it happened. I can guarantee you that. Did you know that an international scientific team discovered that there was nanothermite in the dust from the World Trade Center? What does that mean? Where do you get nanothermite? There's only one place you can get it, from government-controlled laboratories. That's the only place it's available. And I'm not proposing a conspiracy theory. I'm just giving you a fact. That's a fact. They found nanothermite in the dust at the World Trade Center. It's not a theory, it's a fact. The conspiracy theory is that 19 hijackers took planes and crashed them into buildings. That's a conspiracy theory. And there's absolutely no evidence to support it. That's the point from which all this fear is coming. And they're raining it down on our heads at every place in the nation, at the local. Now let me tell you another thing. There's a group called the Police Executive Research Forum. On November 10th, they had a nationwide call-in conference call. Following that, and following one more such conference call, all of these raids happened at the same time. The Police Executive Research Forum is a front for the Department of Homeland Security. They're getting paid to do this work. And I about guarantee you that somebody in our police department was on that conference call. All right, so what's got to happen in this town? If you want things to change, we got to have different people in town government. And Chapel Hill is the perfect place to do this because we have nonpartisan elections. If you want to change what's going on, if you want to change the police policy, if you want to change the public gathering policy, if you want to change all that, we got to have different people elected. The only two people I would even consider voting for now in the town council are Lee Starro and Lauren Eastham. The rest of them, I ain't voting for them again. No way.
Right.
But we got to have people step up and run for office. People have to come forward, stand for office. On the next election, we need to get rid of all of those people who are not representing the interest of the citizenry of Chapel Hill.
Will you run?
I will not run. I will speak out, and I'll have you on my show, on my radio show, anytime you want, if you want to talk about this. I say I won't run. I might run. I don't really want to. I have too much else going on. But people have to step up and do it. You can come on my show anytime. It's WCOMFM.org if you want to listen to it online. It's got a very small broadcast footprint. If you don't live 10 feet from the station, you don't get it. But you can stream it live 24 hours a day at WCOMFM.org. We're a community radio station. We're all volunteer. Nobody gets paid. We all do this because we think it's the right thing to do. So what I'm asking everybody here is step up. Run for office. Take over the government. If you want to fix things, you got to occupy the government. Occupy the government. Occupy the government. Do I get an amen? Amen.